What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Your boy is back. Your boy's not dead. Your boy's feeling good. I want to give you a little update on my health. If you're unaware of what I'm talking about, you can go back and watch the previous video. A little recap would be that a little gummy bear went down my throat, sliced my esophagus, gave me internal bleeding, which made me throw up about a half gallon of blood throughout the day. Then I had to get rushed to the emergency room where I had to get a scan to find out if I was a cat or not, and I stayed there for 2 days. But we're back! Call us Frankenstein because we're alive! And we're currently taking some pantoprazole for about 2 months. And when I uploaded the video, you guys were very, very concerned about my health. And a lot of people, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, left comments about why I was in the hospital, what caused it, and yeah, there was a lot of opposing views. But there was one underlying thing that a lot of people said, that the doctors said as well, that I do agree that we need to have a big change, a big life change, and we're gonna talk about it. But before we can have a big life change with our health, I wanna talk about a big life change that we're doing with one of my businesses. So you guys know Christian, right? Christian Guzman, owner of Alphalete Athletics. Well, this giant building behind us, that is Alphalete Distribution. It is where all the clothes are stored. It is where all the orders are fulfilled. And he also fulfills a couple other companies. One of which is Heidi, his girlfriend, owner of Buff Bunny. He handles all of her clothing, but he also handles all of Everforward Apparel's clothing. You guys remember Everforward Apparel? It's a brand that I own, and we used to have launches all the time, and now we don't really have as much as I'd want to because Sour Strips came along and it overtook our life. But yeah, it is filled out of here, so I don't have to worry about the distribution of the product. I can just worry about the marketing, right? But when I was on vacation with my beautiful girlfriend in Cancun, sipping on my margarita, I got a text from the manager that owns this warehouse or runs the warehouse, and he was like, "Hey Max, Alphalete Distribution, it's no longer happening. We're no longer gonna fulfill our own items. We're going to a new distribution center." And I was like, "Cool, where are we going? I'm excited, yeah, new." And he's like, well, that's the thing. We're shutting down starting in August, but the new distribution center, they won't actually take Everforward because your business is too small." And I'm like, well, that's kind of mean. So yeah, I'm in a little bit of a pickle, Dick, and I have 30 days to get out of this building. But before we can kind of talk about the plan of what we're gonna do, I think it's important we kind of go back to the beginning. All right, so before we can go down memory lane, let me get myself a water. Team Core, by the way. Not drinking any energy drinks right now, taking about a week off just to give my stomach a little rest from the bubbles, not eating any spicy food or whatnot. And a lot of people were saying that that is why I had the ulcers in my belly, was because of the carbonation, or the caffeine, the energy drinks, or the spicy foods, or stress. But it turns out the doctor said it's from H. pylori, which is like a bacterial infection. That's what caused the ulcers. None of the doctors ever mentioned anything about energy drinks, sugar, spicy foods, anything. Nothing like that. But yeah, back to the memory lane. So the entire reason I moved to Texas was to grow Everforward, because that was my only business, right? I had social media, YouTube, and Everforward. Sour Strips was not even a thought in my brain. And I remember the first ever Everforward launch, it had this big EF logo with a deadlift bra on the back, which I don't think anyone has. Oh, wait, guys, this is the front with the Everforward, and on the back, we have the Max Tuning logo, the deadlift to incorporate me as well into the message. So thank you guys and enjoy them. And we sold out in like 2 hours, and I continued to grow the brand. I moved from warehouse or apartment to apartment to apartment, just a little bit bigger each time, so I could have more space to fill more orders. And I did everything.
Do you see this? That's about 4 feet tall of orders. Now let's go out here. Yes, this is my 1-bedroom apartment.
I want to kind of walk you guys through the process a little bit to give you a little more, understanding of how it works. Basically, we start in the customer service and logistics center, which is located in my room. My distribution team, which is also me, will move into actually packaging the stuff, in which, I'll take over my island. I'll set up kind of a shop right here, and it turns into a chaotic event. But this is the setup that I have going on. Kind of ridiculous. I spent the past couple hours packaging up all of these. I took all the orders to the post office. I did it all myself, right? What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. What I'm gonna do is take you through an entire day in the life, a typical work weekday. So I always start off the day with dropping off a handful full of packages from the night before. And then I got a warehouse with some friends called District Barbell, and I was able to grow Everforward a little bit more and have more space. All right, so here is 40 of the 60 boxes that are coming today. All right, update, we have almost put away the first 40. Another 20 boxes just came just now. And then we started outgrowing that, and then Christian called me. He's like, hey Max, you should move down to Texas, man. Let's split this big old warehouse.
But I told him I think you kind of want to have like your own team and everything for shipping.
I am moving to Houston, Texas. Life, and especially with Everforward, you know, my brand is just like, it's just been blowing up. It's been killing it. And I'm like, okay, follow your dreams. And I drove in the SRT, drove down to Texas, took Mona with me, and we continued to grow the brand. And it grew and grew and grew. And its peak was 2019, and we did $1.6 million. And I was like, this is crazy, this is insane. And then I started Sour Strips, which took over my life, right? And at the same time as starting Sour Strips, Christian started outgrowing his warehouse. And he's like, look, we need to go to a bigger warehouse. Why don't you let us just fulfill Everforward, and so you can just focus on the marketing of clothing and Sour Strips. And I was like, okay. So I gave him the distribution. I started focusing on Sour Strips, and I let Everforward fall. I focused on Sour Strips, I let Everforward fall, and here we are to the point where a distribution company won't take us because we're not big enough. But they would have taken us in 2019 because that's when we were doing some crazy numbers, or crazy to me, and now I'm doing like half of that. Literally, like the revenue of Everforward has dropped like 50%, and it really sucks. And it really sucks for a company to be like, hey, you're not big enough for us to take on. And it really made me think of like, what the fuck am I doing, man? How did I let this happen? And it's cool to see Sour Strips grow so much, but it sucks because Everforward got me to where I'm at. And right now I have like 3 options, okay? I either take on the fulfillment myself and get a whole warehouse just for Everforward, and I really don't want to do that. We don't have the space at any of the Sour Strips ones, and I don't really want to do that. Option 2 is I shut Everforward down. I stop doing the clothing. I just admit that I can't handle multiple businesses and just need to focus on social media and Sour Strips. Or option 3 is I find a distribution center that will take us as a smaller company and will like let us grow within it, and we'll handle all the orders. And that is what we're going to do. But in order to do that, there's a problem. There's a problem. All right, so good news, we found a new distribution center that is gonna take on Everforward and work with us as we regrow and rebuild the brand into what it can, will, and should be towards the end of this year and into 2023. The problem is that they're in another state and we got a whole bunch of inventory, right? So yeah, it's gonna be a logistical nightmare to move all that stuff over. And normally it's like, okay, we'll just kind of seal up the box and ship it to another state, right? But when you're in a distribution center, everything is itemized, everything is categorized, everything has a place on a shelf, and you're paying shelf space for every single piece of space they're taking up. And a lot of our items we only have a couple of, right? So I have like 3 of this t-shirt. I don't want to put this in a box and ship it across the country. And some of the stuff that we have in boxes, like this mango margarita t-shirt, I only have like 2 of these in this box. And it is just going to be a nightmare and a logistical headache to try to ship all this stuff when there's a bunch of items where we have like 4 of, right? So what I want to do is I want to start fresh at this new distribution center, right? I want to build the brand back up, and I want to start fresh, and for that I need your guys' help. I need to have like a massive Black Friday sale in the middle of July because we have 5 days before this distribution center shuts down. So if you've ever wanted to support me, support the channel, you like the videos, you like wearing clothes, you like Everforward, you bought something before, or maybe you're on the fence, now is the time because we need to move all of this. We need to move all this stuff. We have so much stuff. I'm gonna have a 50% code, ULCER. 50% off the entire website for like 5 days. And then I have to shut everything down for probably up to like a month as we transition, and it'll be so much better if we can start fresh. And it would mean the world to me. I don't like to beg you guys to snag something, but we make great clothes, and now you can get it for literally an amazing deal. So please snag something up. And you're probably wondering why Christian is getting rid of distributing his own clothes. And I think we should just ask him.
What's going on, guys? Christian Guzman. We are currently in Grand Cayman, and Max just asked me to answer the question, why are we moving distribution centers? And if you guys didn't know, for the last 7 years since starting Alphalete, we have always fulfilled orders on our own. We've always kept that in-house from day one, right? And it really comes down to a few things. Number one, our lease is up, right? And we're currently in a 185,000 square foot warehouse fulfilling for myself, for Alphalete, for Buff Bunny, and Forever Forward. And with that lease being up, the next space that we have to jump to like conservatively stay for the 7 year timeline that they want us to. Keep in mind, it's not buying. That would be a lease. Would be about 250 to 260,000 square feet. Found the spot. We were like doing the build out and stuff like that before we signed the lease, and just like working the numbers. And really what it came down to is this huge overhaul and responsibility of like not only building out this new space, but buying all the equipment necessary to efficiently do this, all the WMS systems, all like investing properly into that business, the fulfillment business, which has never been the business. It's part of Alphalete. Fulfilling the orders is part of Alphalete, but we've never meant to or wanted to go and do a distribution business. It's always been, Max, you need help? We got you. Heidi, you need help? We got you. But no one else. Like, that's never been the goal. And it is a great business if that's what you do, and you can really like fine tune, just space and just like, and it's not what we do. It's not what I need my team doing, and it's not where I need to be allocating most of our resources. If anything, like I feel we are very, not to get too long-winded, but we're very, I don't have many people on my team that could be, working on the forward movement of the company, the pushing forward. And this is just like one thing a big thing, like a huge thing that we'll be able to offload, and just not have to worry about after we, push it forward, we launch, we sell. That's what I need us to be focused on, is the growth, not necessarily like the fulfillment portion of it. As long as that's taken care of, better than we could do it, faster than we could do it, customers getting everything quicker, cheaper, and that's like, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet, but it is what it is. We got to keep growing. So thank y'all, and hope you enjoyed the video.
So although Alphalete distribution may be done, Alphalete Gym is still alive and well and thriving, and we're gonna get a little workout in. I have not lifted a weight since I was blood on Sunday, so we're just gonna ease into it, and just like Nacho Libre, we are gonna take it easy. I'm just sensitive right now, okay? I'm just being cautious. It's only been a couple days, but it feels good to be back in the gym. That's how you know you love something, because when you can't do it, you're like, I need it. And with my training right now, I'm kind of in limbo because I'm not really dieting. I'm still somewhat trying to stay lean for the rest of the summer in case I go to any pool parties or pool outings. We're not partying as much. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm not doing any strength training, so I'm just kind of doing it. I'm going in, whatever I'm feeling like that day, we do it, and then at some point, we're gonna get some structure back into our training regimen. But gym, we love. We missed, we're back. You know what's something else that I loved that I'm getting right after this? All right, cheers. Let's go. What are you doing?
You can't have this.
So, I can't have the alcohol while I'm on this medicine. I am gonna sniff it though. And alcohol was the reason that I threw up so heavily, which is what cut my esophagus. It wasn't a gummy bear. So we're kind of, look, I'm gonna talk to you guys about alcohol consumption after I eat these fajitas, okay? All right, hopefully this chat does not go long. I'm gonna attempt to do it in one take, and it's just gonna be from the heart, okay? So the reason that my esophagus tore was from heavy vomiting, and the reason that I vomited was because I went out and I drank a lot and I threw up that night. Now keep in mind, I do go out and drink on a regular basis, but throwing up from drinking is something that happens maybe like once or twice a year for me. It's just, I don't know if I wouldn't say I can handle my alcohol, but I generally do not throw up. But that is the reason why it happened. And it kind of, because of that, right, it made me think a lot about my drinking. And now I'm someone who I think that you can have alcohol in your life in moderation. And I think that I moderate to an extent. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on my thoughts about alcohol. I know there's a lot of people that, like, it is bad for you. Like, it is bad for you. Some people are very against alcohol at all, period. And even some people think that even maybe having more than one drink is well, whatever. It's just, that's your own thoughts. I'm just telling you mine. I am someone who, I don't drink by myself. I never have. I'm not someone who drinks like a nice IPA or a beer with like a steak or a dinner. I don't make myself a cocktail when I have like a long day. I don't drink wine at nighttime. Like, I don't really drink other than when I am going to get Mexican. I drink a margarita. I know the podcast now I take a shot, but I'm probably going to stop that. Or if I'm going out on a date with Taylor, I'll have a cocktail. And then the other time that I drink is when I'm going out and drinking, right? On a Saturday night, whether it be like to a club or just like, you know, you're going out drinking. And that is where my problem with alcohol kind of occurs. And it's because, I don't know, I'm like the hype man when we go out, right? I just assume the more that I drink, the more fun that I'll have. I'm someone who has a problem with saying no to taking a shot. If someone's like, Max, do you want to take a shot? I'm like, yes. Even though I've already had like 7 or 8 or 10, right? I'm just, you want to take a shot? Yes. You want to take a shot? Yes. Hey, Max, you want to chug out of this bottle? Yes. I just say yes to everything. And I really, and this is how I've always been, is like on a Saturday night when I go out, I drink and I drink and I drink and I drink, and then I feel like shit the next day, and that's why I don't work out on Sundays, and that's just how I've always been. I'm like, hey, when I go out and party, I go out and party, and I'm kind of like still living in this college lifestyle, and I get just I drink a lot when I go out. I drink more than I should, and my problem is that I don't know what the limit is when I'm out with all my friends, because everyone else is just drinking. You know, I'm not like, give me all the drinks. I'm just like, hey, you want to take a shot? Hey, like, yo, you want me to take a shot? Okay, sure. And I think I need to do a better job of maybe stopping this kind of, I would call it binge drinking when I'm out on a Saturday night. I think that it's appropriate to have a limit. Most people probably do. You're like, Max, wait, you don't have a limit? No, I literally just keep drinking. Like, I just keep drinking. But it's only when I'm out in these drinking environments, right? And, you know, drinking too much and throwing up and making that cut your esophagus and throwing up blood is it's a bad thing, and it's a change that I want to that I should have already implemented it. It's maybe time that I kind of grow up and not necessarily, I don't need to be college Max on a Saturday night when I go out. I can go out to clubs and I can have a couple drinks and I can have a good time, and you know, I just want to be like kind of transparent with you guys. Maybe there's people that relate to me, where like, I don't think I have a problem with drinking alcohol. I just have a problem with when I go out to drinking environments and scenes and like clubs, I just don't say no to anyone. And I just continue to take shots, and I think it's bad, and I don't think I should be doing it, and I don't think really anyone should be doing it. And yeah, that's really kind of the change that I'm going to do in my life now, is cut down drastically on any sort of heavy night out. I think it's not really necessary. I'm at a very point in my life where I don't, like, what's the point? Like, what's the point, you know? I can have a great time without having 10, 12 shots of alcohol. Maybe just go out, have a couple drinks with friends, and know my limit. And it's going to take a process. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. This is going to be a very interesting conversation down in the comments. But yeah. I don't really know where I was going with this, because I feel like, I don't know. And when I go out, I post me taking all the shots, and everyone's like, Max, this is crazy. I'm like, this is how I've been since college. Just like Saturday nights, when I go out and drink, I go out and I drink. And I need to chill. I need to stop it. And I'm going to stop it. And it took throwing up blood for me to realize that maybe I shouldn't have 15 drinks and 5 cocktails on a Saturday night, you know? It's a problem when I'm out, and I'm gonna stop it. And I know I can, so that's that. I hope this maybe, I don't know what thing people are gonna take away from this, but that'll be that. That's the update. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, thumbs it up. It's gonna be a doozy down in the comments. Make sure to check out the podcast that will be coming out tomorrow with Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie, would you like to take a shot with me?
Yeah, buddy.
And while you're doing the powerlifting and the bodybuilding, like what is your diet like at that point?
Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Love it.
Burger King.
How much do you guess that I could deadlift?
215. Yeah, 215.
650.
See, yeah, I was close.
Was there any other moments in your life that you've thought about quitting your journey?
Yeah, buddy.
I never thought I'd be sitting across from you having a conversation with you, so I just want to thank you for taking time out. 1998, you won your first Olympia, and then you went on to win how many consecutive champions?
Million. Million.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Eat more sour strips and ever forward. Woof!